Hi, today I am here with Nick Wassenberg. He is a Dimension marketing leader and he is the vice president of marketing at Fulcrum. Nick, thank you so much for being with me today.
You're welcome. Good to be with you, Caroline.
So on these episodes, we talked sometimes about branding, and I think branding is especially interesting in B2B, in the startup marketing, because this is rarely the first thing marketers think about. Yet, it's really, really important. So, Nick, my question for you today is how can you build a premium B2B brand, and why should marketers think about it even when they're in a startup environment?
Yeah, I think if you look at a lot of the successful technology companies that are out there in the B2B space, a lot of them, their brand feels really, really premium, as you said. I think that's a good word. And the thing that I think they get right is that they kind of weight brand and demand generation in their campaigns actually with the same level of scrutiny. I mean, lots and lots of marketers out there are very have developed skills around analytics and developed skills around conversion rate optimization and technical SEO and things like that, which is all great and super important. I think the trap that some marketing teams can fall into is when they don't take the time to get the fundamentals of the brand actually right. And right, of course, is a very subjective term, but I think you have to aspire to the way that I think about it and the way that our team thinks about it is in the moment you're in right now, do the best work of your career, do the type of marketing and the type of design, invest in design to make it stand out as something that you're really, really proud of. I think there's way too many channels, way too many easy access kind of levers to pull that marketers sometimes forget that we are in the storytelling and kind of belief business, really. So I think focusing and balancing out, think of just plot out your schedule, plot out what you're doing on any given day or week. Are you spending time really thinking about the promise that the brand is making and how customers will receive that promise and how it actually comes to life? I think doesn't always show up necessarily directly on a KPI or a dashboard or something, but it is something that it's going to keep you from hitting a plateau in some of the more traditional demand gen channels. That was a long-winded answer. Hopefully that's makes some sense.
No, that does. And, there's a lot to be said for how your brand impacts your dimension and just your overall growth strategy, right? If you have a very clear story that is easy to understand, that you actually deliver on, then it's a story that people can spread, right? And if you forget this storytelling part of like, this is what we stand for and we're going to make it clear through all of our messaging, through all of our marketing programs, then the story becomes confusing and people cannot spread it. So I think it's so important.
Yeah. I think part of it is like recognizing when a great story will represent the brand really, really well. It is, I think, become more and more true that both the storytelling, the words, and the visual actually matter a lot in modern marketing, whether it's B2C or B2B. And so what tends to happen is, which I think is healthy, is every salesperson, every marketing person, every customer success person has a couple stories that they go to of a customer. And the more that marketing, I think, can shape that that's truly in line with the ideal customer profile, that it's truly enough of a story that has enough, creates enough urgency and creates enough buy-in. If we're telling the right stories, we're halfway to really representing the brand in a really, really great way. And the visuals can help support that story too. So visual storytelling, I think, is super important. What we do here is we say, okay, what's our ideal customer? What does that profile look like? And let's go a layer deeper. Let's try and understand what's driving their need to buy a certain piece of software and what's driving that need behind the need. Like keep going in terms of understanding, and then the job of marketing is as important internally as anything else. It's helping the team at large really understand at a truly fundamental level what those stories represent, the emotional appeals that are within those stories, and like what triggers to listen to start to tell them, right? So,
Yeah. And I think the emotional part is like so important. One of the best websites I've ever seen was a company called Track Maven, and
mm.
it was. Are you familiar?
Yeah, they've got the little corgi dog as their mascot. I have a corgi mixed dog, so they stood out for me. Yeah, I know them a little bit. Yep.
Yeah, so it was a while ago, but they had totally redone their website, and it was like very like lots of white space, and the tagline was "Go back to doing what you love," because they
Mm.
were all about like making the tracking super easy, so you didn't have to like spend your time doing this. And as a marketer, I thought that, like it really resonated, right? It was like, oh, like I can spend time doing like telling stories, crafting campaigns, and all that type of stuff. And so like it just struck me as like something that really really works, right? It's like pull something in you that is not the bottom line, but this is like the buyer feels something from it.
Yeah, it's about the feeling, and I think there's this tradition within business to business marketing that it is a lot of white papers and it's technical, or it's I don't know, it's very specifically feature and benefit kind of narrowly focused. I think if you can open up the aperture of what the features and the benefits and the value actually mean to a person, we're all people doing jobs on a daily basis. And then you
Mm-hmm.
said it well, like it is, if I can get back to the part of the job that I love and bust down the things that I don't love, that's actually really valuable value proposition and valuable software. If
Right.
it lets me do what I love doing on a daily basis, I can't think of much more value than that, right?
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. All right. Well, I think this was great. Very insightful. Thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Great talking to you.